Hello everyone, it's Elaine. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are sharing card number 3 of my Halloween card series for 2020. We are using the Lawn Form Scalloped Box Pop-Up die set along with Hello Bluebird Spooky Spellers. So I've taken the largest die in the set. This is going to form the outside of our pop-up box. I've cut 2 panels from black cardstock. I'm going along and folding down along the score lines, and I've already gone ahead and popped some 1/4 inch score tape on all of the flaps, and I'm burnishing that with my bone folder. On the back of the card I won't be bending and folding along that score line. That is going to be the back of our card, and we want that to stay up straight. So that's the only flap I won't be folding. I've removed the release paper from one of the flaps on the largest panel, and I am now securing that down, so we will have just one long big piece of cardstock there. For the struts, I'm removing a bit of release paper and I am lining that up next to the edge where we did not bend. These are going to form the struts which go across the middle and will help to form our scene. So I probably leave about 1/4 inch in between each strut. Excuse my head, I wanted to make sure it was straight. And that's 2, and then I just add in my 3rd one there. I folded them all back down again, removed the release paper, and then folded the flap to the left over on itself, and then brought the one on the right back over, and you will see, just like magic, our card is starting to take shape. So that one at the back there is the one that we didn't bend, and that will be where we can put a message on the back. I've got some glittery black cards here. This is a Lawn Fawn card. I think it's in the autumn pack. I've used a grassy border die to create a nicely grassy border, and I've cut those to just very slightly shorter than 3 1/4 inches, so that will fit nicely along those struts. I've also cut these square panels from Bristol smooth cardstock, and I'm going to be blending on some really cute spooky clouds in Wilted violet distress ink. So I only show the process for one of these pieces of panels, but the process is exactly the same for all 4. I did come in with a slightly smaller brush so I could really focus that colour along that edge. These are such cute little puffy clouds. This stencil is the My Favourite Things mini cloud stencil. And just along that edge there, I wanted to just blend that in a little more, just to take away that stark white edge. I'm adding in some black splatter using my black watercolour pan from my Gansai Tambi watercolour palette, and that is what all 4 panels look like at the end. Set those aside for a moment, and I am now moving on to the colouring of my images. I've used the raccoon, the bat and the rabbit in my colouring in this card today. These are some warm greys for the raccoon. Just really simple colouring. I was really happy with how the colours blended in. I think the warm greys really do blend really nicely. All of the colours I'm using today will be listed down in the description box below. You will also find them on the coordinating blog post, and I will link to that in the description box as well. For the little signs that they're holding, I'm only going to be showing the colouring of those once. It was exactly the same for all 3. Some little bit of RV10 for the cheeks. And these are the BVs for the sign they're holding. Moving on to my bat, I went in really grey, really dark grey to start with the W9. And just coming back down again, blending in as I go down to about E3, I believe. I came in with a slightly darker pink, the RV66, just so that would show up on my little bat. Use some colourless blender on the little tooth because I did colour over that. Using some E50 markers for the bunny, and the same RV10 for the cheeks and the ears. and the same BVs for the sign as well, and a bit of W marker for the tail. I went ahead and stamped a couple of the accessories as well. I did end up only using the hat, C markers for that, and the RV 17, 14 and 13 for the band on the hat. I did cut those out with the coordinating dies, and also cut these B and an O, or two of the O's, to spell the word boo. I did that with some black cardstock and adhered those down with liquid adhesive. On the back of the bat, I'm securing some double-sided adhesive at the base there, and will also secure a very small thin strip of acetate. I believe I just took this from some packaging. I just have a little pot of it in my stash. I'm just going to set him aside while I adhere these grassy borders. I'd popped the glue towards the base as I'm going to be tucking in my elements into the top of that grass, so I wanted to keep that bit free from adhesive. Just squishing that down. I did get some glue on the side there, so do be careful that if you do use liquid adhesive, that you make sure there isn't any glue, or you let it completely dry before closing the card. Popping on my panels, so with some more liquid adhesive. Making sure that's nicely secure down and they're straight. Now I can come in and secure my critters. I popped a little bit more double-sided adhesive on that acetate, and I'm coming in now to secure him down. He isn't too raised because I did want it to fit in an A2 sized envelope. And I'm securing in the other bunnies, or the other critters which are sitting in the grass. Again, I'm just slotting them in. I popped a little bit of adhesive on just to secure them down. For the sentiment, I went really simple. I've got some black cardstock in my mini Misty here. I've treated that with my embossing buddy, and I'm using my Versamark ink on this sentiment, which is taken from the MFT Spooktacular Friends set. Popped some gold embossing powder all over that sentiment and heated that with my heat tool. Then I trimmed that down with my guillotine, popped some more double-sided adhesive along the back, and then I can secure that to the front flap of the card, making sure it's nice and straight. And then once I'm happy with it, I can secure it down properly. For the front of the card, I felt it was looking a little bit bare, so I took this paper from my Pebbles paper pad. It's from a couple of years ago. I will link that down in the description box for you. And I also cut a small panel of white card to secure to the back, because this is where I am going to write my message and my greeting. You'll see as I fold that back up where that sits, and this is the card assembled and opened up, which I think looks really cute. It is actually quite simple, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.